Everyone, thanks for tuning in for my final build. For this project, I wanted to do something a little bit more kind of like personal for this build. So I decided to do something with my plant. This is a plant that my sister and I have been trying to grow since the start of quarantine here in Canada, which was, I think March of last year, so it's over a year old now. It's doing pretty good, but I do seem to have a pretty bad habit of not actually watering it all the time, and it's ended up dying on us, I think about twice or so now. Actually, you can actually kind of see there's this little leaf right there. That guy is actually starting to die too, so anyway, I obviously need to take better care of my plants, and I know it's getting enough sunlight, it's just not getting the proper amount of water all the time. So for my final build, I have decided to build something that's going to help me keep my dear plant friend here alive for as long as I can, and hopefully it will grow up to be a really big plant someday. So I will show you what I have built now. Alright, so I know it's not overly pretty and it's nothing special yet. I do plan on building a full box for it, getting rid of the breadboard obviously, and just having something mounted on the back of the plant here. But essentially, it's a super simple circuit of just this is, I believe, a Spark. Yeah, it's a SparkFun moisture sensor that's Arduino compatible, hooked up into a SparkFun Arduino. They call it a red board, but yeah, it's just a Arduino R3, and that is just hooked up to another LED here. So when the moisture sensor is installed just right into the soil here, I've watered my plant recently, so it is nice and moist, and it's at a good, happy moisture level. You can see the LED over here turns off. And super simple. Once this plant dries out, obviously it won't be moist anymore, so I can kind of simulate that by taking it out, and that blue LED comes right on. So again, the final build will have a little LED just at the top. The reason it kind of isn't the best right now is I was camping for about 3 days during this build process here, so I didn't have an overly large amount of time that I could spend on this build, so I decided to keep it to something very useful and simple that will help me keep my plant alive. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I do want to look into, there was a lot of comments on one of my posts about putting some sort of tube full of like a reservoir of water that would activate like a little servo, and it would like drip out some water, so once it was, you know, a little dry. And I think that's an excellent, I think that's an excellent idea, and I plan on looking into that a lot more once I have more free time to spend on it, for sure. Anyway, thank you again for taking a look at my build.